Breaking tonight, just 18 hours after Donald Trump wins the White House and less than 12 hours after our leaders call for unity, groups of protesters take to the streets in a half-dozen cities to vent their anger and frustration at the election of Donald Trump. Welcome to the Kelly File, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. At this hour, we are seeing anti-Trump protests breaking out in a handful of major cities, including New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, and in Oakland, California. These protests come mere hours after the president-elect, and the woman who wanted to be president all call for the exact opposite of what we're seeing, imploring the country to come together following a historical political victory. We'll have more on that part of the story in just a moment. But first, we go to Rob Schmitt, who's on the streets in New York City with the protesters. Rob, what are you seeing?
And Megyn, we are only about 8 blocks away from you, but this is a massive protest. This all started at 6 o'clock tonight in Union Square. Thousands and thousands of people marched up through the rain. There you go. This is a perfect example of it, but they moved up south. We got you, buddy. About thousands, several thousand in the rain came up here, very motivated to get up here. Now we're outside Trump Tower. We're at 54th and 5th Avenue, not too far away from our headquarters. And this has just been an explosion of anger at the election of Donald Trump, something that you've probably been seeing on social media all day long, something you've been seeing with people all around you, especially in major cities. New York is no stranger to protest. We've always known that. We can show you a couple shots from a helicopter from above to show you the scope of this protest. This is thousands of people here on 5th Avenue, a very impressive showing of support for the other side, the side that didn't win in this election, frankly. A lot of anger here, and when you really look at the people here, you can see exactly what they're talking about. And a lot of curse words, as you heard right there. But when you look at what this is comprised of, the people that are here, that are angry right now. If you remember the comments that were leaked from Hillary Clinton when she talked about the Bernie supporters, saying the disillusioned people that she said are living in their parents' basement, they're upset. This is a lot of that fabric. This is a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters. This is a lot of Black Lives Matter. This is a lot of, I mean, there's a hodgepodge of so many different groups here that are angry, that want some answers about what has happened, about how this election occurred, about how Donald Trump is now the President of the United States, and they seem absolutely confused by it. Even the nurses union had a showing here. So you're seeing a number of groups all coming together. They're all shouting different things. There's, there's a lot of screaming fascism and other things like that. So it is a major show of support, like I said, for the side that didn't win in this election. And Donald Trump is enemy number one. I'm not sure if he's home in Trump Tower, but if he is, he has thousands of people right outside of his doorstep that really don't like him. Megyn, we'll send it back to you.
Rob, can you get in there and ask some questions to some of these folks? I'd love to know whether A, they voted, and B, what they think of President Obama's call for unity, Hillary Clinton's call for unity, not to mention that of Donald Trump.
Yeah. We certainly can.
We hear
I can bring somebody in. We're at a risk for a curse word or two, but you want to talk real quick to us? Anybody? Anybody? Everybody shy? Everybody standing around me seems a little bit scared, a little bit timid to get on camera. I'm trying. I really am. Anybody? Can I just ask you if you voted?
I voted.
Who'd you vote for?
Not your guy.
Not
our guy. Megyn, apparently we have a guy. I didn't know we had a guy, but he didn't vote for our guy.
Welcome to New York City, right,
like
Rob?
I said, everybody here is very camera shy, so we'll send it back to you.
It's amazing, Rob. Thank you. You know what's amazing is these people come out to Times Square and Fifth Avenue, and they want to make their voices heard, except on Fox News, which has the biggest viewership in all of cable, and then they clam up. They don't want to be heard at all. That's helpful to your position. Ironically, this whole scene is playing out after we saw a remarkable call for unity today from President Obama, from President-elect Trump, and from Hillary Clinton. Watch this.
Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country. I hope that he will be a successful president for all Americans.
Hillary has worked very long and very hard over a long period of time. And we owe her a major debt of gratitude for her service to our country. I mean that very sincerely.
I want to make sure that handoff is well executed because ultimately we're all on the same team.
Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
It's time for America to bind the wounds of division. I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans, and this is so important to me.
We all want what's best for this country. That's what I heard in Mr. Trump's remarks last night. That's what I heard when I spoke to him directly, and I was heartened by that.
In moments, we'll be joined by former Clinton spokesman Mo Alifi, but we begin tonight with Bill Bennett, who served as Secretary of Education under President Reagan and is the chairman of Conservative Leaders for Education. Bill, good to see you. So now, as we watch these protests in the streets of 7 major cities tonight, and it doesn't seem like the Democrats, I'm assuming they're Democrats, are really listening to their sitting president's call for unity, to Hillary Clinton's call for unity. And you tell me how they get past that and accept the result that the American people have reached fair and square.
Well, there's really no timeouts, no stopping the action in a busy country. If people thought we were going to have a 24-hour or 48-hour break, we don't. They're exercising their free speech rights. But what exactly are they protesting? Constitutional republic's way of engaging in democracy?
I mean, the chant seemed to amount to F Donald Trump. So that when asked to explain further, the one gentleman we spoke with declined based on the fact that it was Fox News Channel. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Fox News guy, yeah. So it's a tantrum. It's our guy lost or our gal lost, so we're going to protest. But, the way democracy works, one side loses, one side wins. Now, it's a bit of a charade to talk about let's have peace and unity. It's appreciated. I appreciated what Hillary Clinton said, what the president said, and what the president-elect said. But we know as soon as you get into issues, as soon as you get into serious discussion, if Donald Trump follows his agenda and says starts with getting rid of Obamacare, there will be serious disagreement. Mm-hmm. And that's part of democracy, too.
And should he do that? Some are already saying, oh, he's going to moderate. Who knows if he's going to live up to these campaign promises. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, sure he should. I mean, that's a promise. That's what people took him for his word and took him seriously and supported him. Yeah, that's what he ran on. Look, part of this is will he reach out? Will he reach out to the other side, which means will he compromise his views, which in the end means will he give up his views? But Donald Trump is not one to easily to hedge on these things. So of course he will, and of course there will be opposition to it. Can it be civil? Sure. Should it be civil? Yeah. Will it be? Who knows? But he was elected to do certain things, and he should by all means proceed to do them. And what an extraordinary opportunity, Megyn, with the House and the Senate. Can I just say one other thing?
Yeah.
I've been watching Fox all day, loyal as I am to you guys, and everybody was apologizing for being wrong, all the pollsters and everybody. I'm not apologizing. I wasn't wrong. And I'm not going to toot my horn, but there were some of us. We weren't all wrong. I heard that locution a lot today. Some of us actually thought Trump would win, and we thought he had good reason to win.
And on top of that, Bill, I mean, you're of the mind that it's good to reach out, it's good to shoot for unity, but that it's the Trump detractors who need to go to him to try to reach that unity. Explain that, because many people have said he, as the man in power, needs to sort of roll out the carpet and say you are welcome and you will be well received.
There's a difference between engaging with goodwill on issues which you disagree and engaging to such a degree that you neuter yourself and you neuter your own views. He should do the former, but not the latter. He can step forward and say, I was very open about the issues. I think we should get rid of all these executive orders, and I plan to do that with an executive order the first day, and he can do that in a civil way. That doesn't mean it will be greeted with hallelujahs. But, there's a difference, again, between operating with goodwill and in disagreement and acting in a disagreeable way. I think he will not be disagreeable if he can help it. But it's going to be hard for him not to help it, because he's going to get attacked big time. I watched CNN for 5 minutes today, only 5 minutes, Megyn, I promise. And they said, well, Donald Trump promised unity today and to reach out, but he wasn't always so unified during the campaign. Well, and then they played all these quotes.
Yeah, well,
just
it's like Trump said,
really
this is a nasty business, politics, which he's new to, but played very well. Bill, I gotta go. Great to see you.
big, boisterous country. We're going to survive it. Thank you. Nice job, by the way. You got any sleep yet?
Thank you. Not yet, but it's looking good for tonight.
All right, try mypillow.com.
I've got like 8 of them, thanks to the MyPillow people. All right, also with us tonight, Mo Elleithee. He served as traveling press secretary on Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign. He's the founding executive director of Georgetown University's Institute of Politics and Public Service. Mo, good to see you. So when you see folks taking to the street tonight, I mean, especially in light of what we heard today, which is, in essence, that she lost because the Democrats didn't show up. Trump got his vote out, and she didn't. Her vaunted ground game, you know, which you've talked about a lot. They did not show up for her, and yet now they're out there.
Yeah, look, I'm the first to admit, listening to what Bill just said, I'm the first to admit I always thought Donald Trump could win. I did not think he would win. I am one of those people who's sort of eating crow today. And I totally agree with Hillary Clinton and President Obama that it is time for us to come together. We do need to give the president-elect the benefit of the doubt, and that we should root for him. We should want our president to be successful. And as a part of the loyal opposition, that doesn't mean we don't hold him accountable and try to nudge him our way, but we want success. Having said that, that's our end of the bargain. He's got to do his part as well. Remember, he lost the popular vote. A majority of the people who cast votes did not vote for him. That doesn't mean he's illegitimate. He is absolutely legitimately the president-elect. He won fair and square. But it shows just how divided this nation is. And one of the reasons why it is so divided, one of the reasons, is his rhetoric during the campaign. And the things he said that really upset, caused pain, and caused fear in millions and millions of Americans. That's on him now to reach out to those people.
How does he get past that? I mean, how there are many groups who are scared. They're scared today. But how does a president-elect Trump get them past that?
Yeah, I think in part with words and in part with actions. And he needs to move swiftly and somewhat delicately, but needs to go out there and speak to these groups and demonstrate through both words and actions that what he said last night, and what I thought was a really good and strong speech, much more gracious than a lot of us gave him credit for being, or for being able to be. He needs to prove the point he made in that speech that he does want to be a president for all Americans, through his words, through his actions. So I think both sides of the equation here have some work to do. We are completely polarized and divided. There are some issues I am hopeful for that the president and both parties in Congress can work on. Infrastructure reform, which used to be a bipartisan issue. He mentioned that last night. That would be a great first issue to start on, that all sides can come together on. But that fear that we're seeing in the streets tonight, I wish we weren't seeing that tonight. But he has to recognize his part in that equation.
Just before I let you go, Mo, as somebody tied into the Democratic circles, what feedback are you getting? I mean, what's the level of emotion, and what are the emotions?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the kind of emotion that I am seeing after this election. There's a lot of sadness, and there is a lot of fear. There are a lot of people in the Democratic family who are truly worried about the future right now because of some of the divisiveness that came out of this campaign. The number of tears that I witnessed today, it's just not unlike anything I've ever seen. We usually get through these elections. I've been through some tough elections. I've seen some pretty divided electorates, but this feels a little bit more pronounced than I'm used to seeing. And so, like I said, we all have our work cut out for us to come together.
One thing you can say about Donald Trump is he engenders very strong feelings in just about everyone, right? As you watch his supporters, and now to see his detractors take to the streets of several major cities across America by the thousands, protesting the will of the people, essentially. And you point out she won the popular vote, but then, of course, that's not the way it works in our republic.
That's right.
That does not win you the presidency, which these people understand. But and it's quintessentially American to protest as long as they keep it nonviolent and respectful, which so far
and civil
they have. Mo, good to see you.
Thanks. You too.
We're going to try to get in touch with some of these people. You can see there's our correspondent Rob Schmidt in the crowd now, and hear what it is what is the goal? I mean, what they just want to express their anger or their feelings, or they want a different result. What is the goal? We'll try to figure that out as we watch these marchers on the streets of New York, Chicago, Philly, and elsewhere tonight. We also saw college students burning flags on a couple of campuses earlier today. Professor Jonathan Turley joins us tonight with some words of wisdom for these kids, many of whom could not attend class today because they were so upset. Also tonight, Governor Mike Huckabee and Dana Perino with the scoop on the first 100 days for America's new president. What must Trump do? That's next.